So I think we've all been there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You just finished a really powerful meditation. Maybe you had an incredible week at a retreat, and you hit this moment of just intense clarity.
Yeah.
A genuine, deep awakening. Your energy just soars. Your focus is laser sharp. And you think to yourself, this is it. I've done it. I've finally shifted.
I am finally aligned.
Exactly. But here's the unavoidable truth of it all. A few days, maybe a few weeks go by, and that intense, soaring energy, it just starts to plummet. It feels like you've hit a wall.
And all the old habits just creep back in.
The procrastination, the self-doubt, that loud negative voice you thought you had banished for good.
And the immediate reaction always is to internalize it. We jump straight to self-criticism.
Right.
We immediately conclude, I must be weak, or I didn't try hard enough, or even worse, maybe I didn't truly change at all.
And that feeling of failure is just crushing. It often makes you want to abandon the whole thing.
It does.
We frame it as a personal failure, a lack of willpower. But today, we want to deliver the core thesis of this entire deep dive right up front.
Okay.
That energy drop is absolutely not due to personal weakness. It's not a failure of your intent. It's because of the absence of a sustainable maintenance system.
It's a systemic issue, a structural issue, not a personal one.
Yes.
You successfully launched the rocket, but you completely forgot to build the navigation system you need for the long haul.
And that system is what we are diving into right now. The maintenance ritual. We're going to step away from the grand, complicated ceremonies that, feel great for a moment.
The big highs.
The big highs. Instead, we're focusing on the practical, almost mundane daily habits that ensure the good high baseline of energy stays with you for the long term. This is all about longevity and resilience. Okay, so let's unpack this idea. What exactly is maintenance when we're talking about our internal energy? With a car, it's about preventing failure. But how do we define it when the asset is, us, our energetic self?
Yeah. I think the simplest way to understand it is through an analogy with physical health, but it's a little more complicated.
Okay.
Imagine you go to the gym, you have the best workout of your life. You lift a personal best, you feel amazing.
Right.
But if you go home and immediately fall back into a sedentary life, unhealthy eating, that physical gain, it just dissipates, it's gone. You wouldn't be surprised when the muscle atrophies.
That makes sense. But here's the tricky part, I think. Unlike a muscle, you can't see the energetic self. There are no obvious metrics. So how do we even measure that atrophy you're describing? How do we know the old self is creeping back in?
We measure it by the return of internal inertia.
Inertia.
Yeah. The spiritual or energy field needs these consistent small inputs, just like a muscle needs protein and movement. If we ignore that maintenance, the vacuum we created in that moment of awakening, that space where doubt used to live, it gets reclaimed.
Ah, so it's a vacuum.
It's a vacuum.
Yeah.
The old habitual, fearful self returns, sometimes subtly at first, and just takes back the space you worked so hard to clear.
So it's not just a drop in positive energy.
Yeah.
It's a structural void being filled by our old default settings.
Exactly. And this leads to a really crucial philosophical shift. This is the aha moment of maintenance.
Okay.
The goal is not constant soaring through the roof energy. That peak state is exhausting. It's unsustainable.
Right, you can't live there.
You can't. The real goal is stability. We're aiming for a stable, high baseline vitality that is resilient. That stability allows you to walk through the complexities of daily life, the boring stuff, the challenging clients, without your internal engine just crashing.
That is a profound difference.
Yeah.
So maintenance isn't about revving the engine to redline all the time.
No.
It's about regularly checking the oil and the tire pressure to prevent that mid-journey breakdown. It's building a robust foundation. Okay, so now that we get the mindset, it's stability over spikes, let's talk about the practical side. People feel this drop and they panic. They think they need some new complex ritual with a dozen different tools.
And that panic is actually so counterproductive. The good news here is that consistency is what matters. In fact, we actively discourage changing your tools constantly.
Why is that?
Because you need to build energy memory in your body and mind. Your tools have to become reliable anchors, not shiny new objects.
Okay, so what do you recommend?
Select just 2 or 3 tools, and this could be anything, an object, a piece of jewelry, a mantra, or yes, a crystal. And then organize them into 3 functional teams based on what you need most in your daily life.
Okay, functional teams. Let's get into those. What are the non-negotiables for sustaining energy?
Team number 1 is your frequency keeper.
A frequency keeper.
Think of it like your internal GPS or a tuning fork. Its whole job is to prevent energy deviation and remind you of the clarity you felt in that initial awakening. It keeps your vibrations steady when life gets noisy.
Can you give us some examples of what that might look like?
Sure. The classic example is clear quartz. It's known as the master healer for a reason. It clarifies your intent, reminds you of your goals, but it could also just be a handwritten card with your core goal on it. We're looking for a consistent physical link back to your highest intent. Another good one is Amethyst. It's great for preventing that scattered overthinking energy that almost always leads to a drop.
I see. So that's team 1. What's next?
Team number 2 is the daily grounding anchor. This is absolutely non-negotiable for maintenance. It keeps you tethered to reality.
So you don't get too floaty.
Exactly. Without proper grounding, you become unmoored and you can't function effectively in the real world.
So what are some good examples of tools for that kind of physical anchoring?
Well, if you're someone who interacts with a lot of people every day, say in a public-facing role, Hematite is a really powerful choice. It has this mirror-like surface. It's said to reflect negative energy, and it physically feels heavy. It pulls that scattered energy down to the earth.
Interesting. What if you need something a bit softer?
Then Smoky quartz is fantastic. It neutralizes negative energy rather than reflecting it. It promotes this kind of calm, persistent mindfulness that keeps you present. The key is that whatever you choose has to connect you physically to where you are right now.
I like that emphasis on connecting back to reality. But, we're human. We're going to slip up. And when that inertia sets in, sometimes what we need most is compassion.
You're exactly right. Which brings us to team 3, emotional balance. When you inevitably feel that pull downwards, the automatic instinct is self-judgment. It's criticism. And that just creates a destructive loop.
That really does.
So tools like rose quartz or moonstone help you break that cycle. They're physical reminders to bring in self-compassion, to be kind to yourself when things get difficult.
That's about customizing your team. If you're, say, a busy entrepreneur, you might need hematite for grounding and clear quartz for focus.
Right, for resilience.
But if you're more sensitive, maybe prone to anxiety, your team might be smoky quartz for neutrality and rose quartz for self-acceptance. The key is choose your team and stick with it. Build that energy memory.
Okay, so the tools are set. Now we need the structure. And maintenance cannot feel like a burden.
Right, or you just won't do it.
Exactly. Has to be quick and achievable. So we divide it into 3 levels: daily, weekly, and monthly.
Start with the daily.
Level 1 is the daily reset. And this is precisely 2 minutes. The goal is like brushing your teeth. You clear out the energy trash every day before it hardens overnight.
Okay, 2 minutes. Why is 2 minutes the magic number? It seems so short.
It's effective because we are not trying to reach some state of enlightenment. We're just resetting the nervous system and creating accountability. 2 minutes is non-negotiable, even when you're exhausted or rushing.
So what's the method?
It's simple. You hold your frequency keeper, stone, or object. You take 3 deep, intentional breaths. That is the fastest nervous system reset button you have.
And the mental part.
You just mentally check in. You ask, what level is my energy at today? And the important part is to observe it without judgment.
No judgment.
None. You're just taking a reading, like checking a fuel gauge, and you close with an affirmation. I return to my basic frequency. That tiny intervention prevents negative energy from compounding day after day.
It's damage control, basically. That makes so much sense.
Then there's level 2, weekly stabilization. The goal here is grounding, both physical and mental. After a week of thinking and interacting, we all feel a bit floaty.
I know that feeling.
This practice pulls you back to reality. You do it once a week, maybe on a weekend.
How is this different from the daily reset?
The daily one is more mental and emotional. The weekly one is intensely physical. You hold your grounding stone, your hematite, or whatever you chose, over your abdomen, your core, and then you stand or walk slowly.
And the goal is to connect to the physical world.
Yes. Walking barefoot on grass for a few minutes is amazing, but even just standing still and feeling the connection of your feet to the floor works. You set the intention. I stand in real life without abandoning my new self. It reaffirms that you can be aware and spiritual while still functioning in the real world.
And what about the big picture?
That's level 3. Monthly alignment. This is your high-level check-in, like a physical for your life's trajectory, but it only takes 5 minutes once a month.
Okay.
You sit still with all your tools in front of you, your whole energy team, and you ask yourself one core question. Is this month's energy still aligned with the life path I want to go down?
It's a directional check.
Exactly. If the answer is yes, great, you carry on. If it's no, you have to resist the urge to panic and overhaul everything.
All right, don't throw everything out.
Don't. You only adjust one small behavior, one tiny thing. And you close with the affirmation, I adjust, I don't force. It has to be gentle guidance, not brutal discipline.
The big takeaway here really is shifting the practice from a difficult ritual into an integrated, achievable habit. Now that we have the system, we have to talk about system failure. How do you know when your maintenance needs to be, urgent? We need to know the early warning signs before we hit a total crash.
Yes. If you see 2 or 3 of these 5 signs, you need immediate intervention. That means you drop everything and do that 2-minute daily reset right then and there.
Okay, what's the first sign?
Unexplained exhaustion. You feel physically heavy, like you're carrying the world on your shoulders, even if you haven't been doing anything strenuous. That's energetic congestion.
People often just dismiss that as being tired, but you're saying it's a symptom of something deeper.
It is. Sign number 2, the return of the loud, internal, critical self-talk. That voice that had faded suddenly comes back and starts shouting at you again. 3, indecision. In areas that were previously crystal clear, suddenly you can't decide what to have for dinner or what to do next at work.
That's a huge one, when the rudder just fails and you're adrift on these small decisions.
4, a strong, almost magnetic desire to retreat. You start craving old, comfortable, but unhelpful habits. You just want to go back to a comfort zone that you know doesn't serve your growth.
The path of least resistance.
Exactly. And 5, extreme irritability over really small things. A misplaced key or slow internet connection causes this huge, disproportionate emotional reaction. If you see these signals, you need immediate, simple action.
Okay, and what about the traps? The pitfalls people fall into, even when they're trying their best.
Pitfall number 1 is the overuse of huge ceremonies. Some people get addicted to that intense, magical feeling from a big ritual.
The high.
The high. And they start doing them too often, neglecting the daily work. It becomes escapism, not stability.
I could see that. It's looking for a shortcut instead of doing the daily work.
Precisely. Pitfall 2, constant tool switching. If a tool isn't working after a few months, the problem is most likely your unstable energy, not the tool.
So don't blame the tools.
Don't blame the tools. Changing them constantly just confuses your system and prevents you from building that energy memory. Commit to your team.
And the third one.
And pitfall number 3, which is probably the most insidious, beware of spiritual bypassing.
Okay, we need to spend a minute on this. What does that actually look like, and why is it so damaging?
Spiritual bypassing is when you try to use positive thinking or force high energy to mask uncomfortable feelings, anger, grief, anxiety. It's that instant mental jump to, I should be grateful, or I just need to raise my vibration the second you feel genuinely sad. It's forcing the balance before you've even been honest about the imbalance.
That's damaging because
true maintenance requires honesty. You have to accept that you feel bad first. You have to acknowledge the anger or the anxiety. Then, and only then, can you gently adjust the balance. Suppressing bad feelings under a veneer of forced positivity is the fastest way to a massive crash later on.
So the goal isn't to be happy all the time. It's integrity. It's being honest with your current state, which then allows you to move back towards stability rather than pretending you never left it.
So if we synthesize all of this before we wrap up, stable energy is far more valuable and useful in real life than temporary spiking high energy.
It's what allows you to actually integrate your growth into your real personality.
Yes.
The maintenance ritual, then, at its heart, it's not about strict discipline. It's really just honesty towards your new self. If you slip up, if you get stressed, if you fall back into an old pattern, that isn't failure. Not if you return to the practice. You just return to your breathing, you listen to your body, touch your tools, and gently say, I'm back. Because you committed to that daily check. Your energy won't stray so far that it becomes overwhelming to pull it back.
And this raises an important question for you to think about. Try implementing that 2-minute daily reset tonight. You might realize that true spiritual growth, it's not about a miracle or some grand event in the past. It's about the simple, consistent, and honest care you provide for yourself every single day.
Thank you for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.